right, everybody, we're just going to go ahead and give ourselves a minute, let everybody go ahead and sign in. Happy Monday morning, depending on where you're at. I'm on the East Coast here, so it is noon for us, but thank everybody for joining us on Monday. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and just give us an extra minute or two. So we have a lot of attendees coming on in right now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and at least explain a little bit of what is going on today. So I just want to thank everybody for joining. My name is Mark Neuterman. If you don't know me, I know some of you do from my time as a top Compass agent in San Francisco. After that, I was the sales manager for Compass South Bay, Los Angeles, and now I focus on coaching with Compass. So I'm one of 13 coaches that are available to everybody at Compass with different programs and everything else. So, you know, as an agent at heart, as somebody who's been doing this for 22 years, I know agents like to hear other agents. And the way I look at it, there's always different expertise. One of the things that I personally love the most about Compass, it's the collaboration. It's the heavy hitters, it's the exclusive ideas that come together where everybody is willing to share with one another. So with that, I wanted to start the Ladies of Compass panel series and have 4 of my coaching clients at a time that are going to come on here and talk about different topics. You know, one of the most important that we always talk about is your brand. And when you think about brand, you can think about the unique value proposition. I always like to say, what are you known for? Okay. What are you best at? What is it that makes you you? What differentiates you? So I have 4 incredible ladies here that are going to talk with all of you today. We're going to have an incredible conversation about not only building, but also marketing your brand and what that exactly means. If you do want to ask any questions, we're going to leave a little bit of time at the end. So please feel free to put that in the Q&A section where we do have time for that at the end. And then also the contact information for the panelists is going to be sent out if you wanted to reach out to any of them. And this is a recorded session. So if anybody wants the recording, we did get some notes. Some folks have to hop off early. Some folks couldn't attend. I don't want you to worry at all. We're going to send all of this out to all of you. So first things first, thank you all for being here with us. Now let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go through each one of our panelists and just, you know, kick us off in terms of talking about where you're located, how long you've been in the industry, what's your focus in real estate. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Melissa Pilon.
Hi, everyone. Melissa Pilon. I am located in the South Bay of Los Angeles. I've been in real estate for 10 years now, and I've been with Compass a little over 2.5 years. And my focus is really focusing on my clients, and I'm known for my creative marketing and events and going above and beyond.
Excellent. Holly.
Hi, everybody. I am Holly Madden, and I am located in Houston, Texas. I have been in real estate for 25 years, and I have been with Compass since it basically came to Houston. They came to Houston in November, and I switched over in January, so it's been about 4 years. So anyway, I'm really excited to be here. I have I do a lot with sports and entertainment in Houston, and I am kind of known, though, to have all price ranges. So I don't really focus in one price range. I focus kind of in everything.
Excellent. Sonali.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you all. I'm Sonali Setna, broker associate in the industry for 30 years. 23 years of my 30, I was a solo agent. Last 7 years, I've been with a partner, Uwe Max. So we are a team for the last 7 years. We were Organic Compass. So we've been with Compass for 5 years. it's interesting I'm on this panel because right in the middle of this panel, we actually going to our substantial rebranding. So we don't have a website right now, but with Mark's help, and thank you, Mark, for being there for us. We are actually doing a major rehaul for our branding. So we are really excited, and it's going to be amazing. Very exciting.
Sonali, where are you located, just so everybody knows?
San Francisco Bay Area.
Excellent. Okay, Nicole.
Hey everyone, Nicole Klein. I am a founding agent out of the Rancho Santa Fe office in San Diego. I've been in real estate for 8 years, and my primary focus is the North County coastal areas of San Diego, as well as Rancho Santa Fe.
Excellent. All right, so now let's go ahead and just kind of get to the first main meat and potatoes of this, which is, not just what is your brand, but what does having a brand represent to you? So, Nicole, I'm going to go ahead and kick that back to you.
So as Gary Vee says, I don't know if any of you follow Gary Vee, you are your brand. So I, Nicole Klein, am my brand. It's something I've been working on my whole life. All of us have, right? And I like to say that my brand identity, it's not so much what I think of my brand, it's how my clients perceive my brand and the feedback I get from my clients based on that. So, feedback through client reviews, some of the reviews I've gotten, old school manners, new school savvy, that's actually my favorite, white glove service, expert in luxury. So when I hear those things from my clients, I know that my brand is headed in the right direction.
I love that. Holly, how about you? What is your brand, and then what does having a brand represent to you?
So to me, it's an extension of myself, and Mark has really taught me that. Like, it is it's an extension of yourself, and I like to present myself as being professional. One thing that has been made clear to me time and time again in the 25 years I've been selling real estate is that I can be working with 10 or 12 clients at a time, and they all feel like they are the only person I'm working with, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time, because they feel like they can get all of your attention. But it's, I think it's kind of like Nicole said, it's that white glove service. And again, no matter what the price range is, whether it's a $300,000 house or a $13 million house, it's all the same for every client. I was taught that early on in my career, that you treat every client the same.
I love that. Sonali?
Yeah, so brand to me is, your identity, your personality, because I feel that your personality is what really creates that emotional connection with your clients so they can trust you. Our slogan is the team that speaks your language. So we are international. I'm from India, Uwe is from Germany. And we really feel that we understand our audience here in the Bay Area. It's just so culturally diverse. We connect with them really well because this is who we are, So to me, your brand is you. So we are the brand.
Sonali, just so everybody knows, between you and Uwe, your business partner, how many languages do you two speak?
So collectively, we speak 10 languages.
10 languages, 5 apiece. Wow. So when they say, we speak your language, from a brand perspective, they're not kidding. Okay. It's absolutely incredible. Melissa.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what the panelists said. And I think for me, my brand is really my relationships. And I'm known for having a calming personality and a calming presence on not only my clients, but the other agents on the other side of the transaction. And I think, just working together to get the job done And overall, just every relationship counts. And I would almost argue your relationships with other agents are almost more important than your client relationships. It's more likely you're going to be working with these other agents more often. And so everyone you treat, everyone you talk to, just making sure they have a great experience from start to finish.
I absolutely love that. And I agree. I used to always tell my clients more than 50% of my time is spent on building relationships with other agents so that when we're making an offer in a multiple offer situation, they want our offer because they want to work with me. They know what they're going to get. And I also just want to touch on something Holly said, which is it doesn't matter the price. You treat every client the same. I have a colleague in San Francisco who had a really difficult low price point entry level client. It was a relocation transaction in San Francisco, and it was about an 8-month ordeal, but she did an incredible job. Well, 2 years later, she gets a phone call. Her mother had owned a biotechnology company that she sold for $60 million and wanted to buy a $32 million home and demanded that my colleague represent her. So that's just where you never know. But again, your brand, your reputation, you treat everybody the same. Okay. So Sonali, I'm going to go ahead and start with you on this, which is, how did you build your brand? And then what are some action steps that you took while building it?
Okay, so I started in real estate when I was 19 years old. And Nicole, I kind of share that with you. I started my real estate journey from San Diego. I spent 8 years of my first 8 years in new homes. And when I started in resale, I was actually the first agent from my office in 1997 who bought the domain, Sonali Sells. So I was a solo agent with that domain, Sonali Sells, and I was recognized as Sonali Sells here in Pleasanton. Then, like I said, we partnered up 7 years ago, and we actually changed our domain. And what we realized, and actually the credit goes to Mark, and Mark, thank you for being in our lives as a coach. We love you. I wish I met you or we met you before, because we did change the domain to suit both of us, which obviously wasn't really clicking. So this is why we are in this process of the whole overhaul, substantial, rebranding right now with Mark's help. And it's going to be amazing because, who we are is really the international connection to our clients here in the Bay Area. We understand them culturally. When I get a call or when we get a call, it's easy to say, hey, do you have any, criteria for facing your front door or, the vastu, because we deal with a lot of Indian families here. So, yeah. So one, if I would have done anything different is really, I wish, Mark, we met you before. So we could have actually started this journey a little earlier, but it's never too late, right? And yeah, we're excited to see what's going to be rolled out here on red carpet pretty soon.
Well, thank you for the kind words, but I just want to, point out with that, change is scary for all of us, right? And so when you take a very substantial business, and I think Sonali's, kind of, is downplaying their level of success, but it's turning the Titanic is scary. So to be in a position, and that's where having her on this panel right now is perfect, because imagine having somebody say to you, we're going to have to take a short amount of time where the website is going to be down, the social media is going to be down, logos change, branding. Anybody on this call, we've got hundreds of people right now on this call. That is what I know I would, be breathing into a paper bag. So thank you for the trust, but also just knowing how it's so valuable and already you can see results from that, right? So Melissa, I'm going to turn it over to you. So how did you build your brand, and then some action steps that you took? Was there anything that you can point to that was a major success?
Sure. So my background before real estate is I was in advertising and marketing. So I had a pretty great understanding about what a brand is. And I started in real estate on a large team in a marketing role, and eventually got licensed and had a lot of different roles within that team, and really focused on buyers and sellers separately. And so when I went on my own and I joined Compass and became a solo agent, I think that experience helped me become a really great agent, because I know what the sellers are coming from when I'm writing offers for buyers. I know what buyers are going through when I'm working with sellers. And so I really help make that together. Um, I think, coming over to Compass, was a huge milestone for me. And actually, thank you, Mark, for giving me the confidence that I could do this on my own. And the tools and marketing that Compass has provided has been really magical for my business.
Awesome. And Compass is happy to have you. I know that. All right, Nicole.
So when I first started out in real estate, I literally had to start from scratch. I'm not from San Diego. I'm actually from the East Coast. So I didn't have a huge sphere. I had no family out here. So I literally had to, start my brand from scratch. And a lot of that was, I had a mentor, of course, which was great. But watching what the best were doing and figuring out how I could do it better. So observing what other agents were doing, getting in a lot of open houses. I was doing 3 open houses a week, and, in the open houses, through trial and error, I figured out what worked for me, what didn't. I built systems, and it took me 1.5 years to sell my first home. So I think just sticking with the open houses, door knocking, doing all of the hard things, and honestly, some of the things that we're all having to do again now, that's what really helped me to build my brand. I basically started building my brand from the start.
I love that. All right, Holly.
Okay, so I came from a very small boutique firm, and something a lot of people don't know about me, because I don't like to advertise it a lot in my business, is that I have 5 children and had 5 kids in 7 years. And I was always pregnant when I first started real estate, because I started when I was 24 years old. And I was kind of known as the pregnant real estate agent. I know that sounds weird, but I kind of was. And people, because we did not have, Instagram and things like that back then, a long time ago, I was known more as a mom and not a real estate agent. And so it did wonder. I mean, I did a ton of business within my kids' schools. But when I came to Compass and was able to really brand myself with my logo that I love, that was something that really drew me to Compass, was the logo that I would have personally for myself and all of that. We watched that blow up in Houston when Compass came to town. It was really interesting. And it really marked me as more. I mean, people couldn't believe how much real estate I sold, because they just thought that I was a mom kind of doing this on the side. They didn't realize how much I actually did. And so I think coming to Compass and branding myself with, selling homes and not just my family. And I do incorporate that within my branding, but I think that is what made the biggest difference with me in the change. And it did. My business has blown up big time also from that.
So Holly, I'm going to stay with you here. So, as your coach, you often hear me talk about brand perception and brand continuity.
Right.
For anybody on this call who's not familiar, basically brand perception is your brand being perceived the way you want? And is there continuity across all of the different marketing pieces? So for you, what steps do you take to make sure that the brand is perceived how you want it to be? And is there any kind of quality control that you do to ensure that's the case?
Well, we're working on that right now. But yes, we try, like I said, we need to put more people in. Mark is teaching me more people in our marketing, but I think that that's one thing I get a little nervous about, just because when I did do people, it was like kids and things like that. Now my kids are older, so they don't want to be in anything with me, but we try to keep the same look on all of our marketing pieces. We come up with, people love our loot. All of our clients love our loot. We have really great loot in all of our open houses and that we hand out in neighborhoods that we sell a lot in. But I think the continuity of also just the different price ranges that we focus on too, not just that we're luxury, not just that we're sports entertainment, not just that we're selling in a neighborhood that's between $500,000 and $750,000. That I think that's the continuity that we really try to keep up.
I love that. Nicole, how about you?
So I'm a bit of a control freak. I will not put out subpar content. I will not. So I either design the pieces that I put out, whether it's social media or print marketing, I design it or work very closely with the person who designs it. And I think one of the biggest things is, the reason I'm such a control freak about my marketing is because I want to stand out. I don't want my pieces that are being mailed or my video marketing, I don't want it to be the same as any other Compass agent or any other agent, period. I want it to stand out. And, I've found that that's what attracts a lot of clients to me. So maybe I'm a little bit too much of a control freak. I probably need to work on that, Mark, but it's working for me so far.
These four keep my hands full. I'll just say that. Melissa, how about you?
Yeah, I really believe in consistency. And, if you look at my website, Melissa Pilon Homes, if you look at my Instagram, if you look at my collateral brochures, I really do feel we have consistency, and you can tell it's me when you're looking at my marketing. I'm also really big on how things feel, like even the business cards, like when you touch them, what that feels like, just really quality. I'm not going to just like print flyers in the office and hand that out at an open house. I'm going to have nice quality card stock. I feel like how you do anything is how you do everything. And really just making sure your messaging, in terms of like copy in either brochures or social media, I always, of course, ChatGPT is really fun, but I always want to make sure it's something I would actually say. And so really just trying to come across as genuine, authentic, and me throughout every marketing piece. And just, that's super important to me.
I love that. Sonali?
So yeah, our brand perception is, again, who we are, the team that speaks your language. In any marketing, any branding, you have to be consistent. Same touch and feel, same font, same designs. Obviously, quality control is huge. And I do have to give credit to my business partner on this, who is a control freak, Nicole, just like you. So he actually does quality control for us, and very detailed and very particular, maybe because he speaks 5 languages. So everything has to be. So yeah, so we do believe in that. We do have quality control, and consistency is a big thing for any successful business. So
Appreciate that. So, one thing I just want to say before we move to our next question is there's always the fine line of paralysis by analysis and actually making sure you're getting content out, right? And that's one of the trickiest things. But I've watched that, and even for myself, where it doesn't feel perfect, 2 months go by, it doesn't feel perfect, and you could have been on to the 10th piece that's going to go out, because depending on what it is, human beings have a short attention span, period, right? And the idea is maybe this postcard, this mailer, they're going to look at it and that's it. And so you always want to just catch yourself in that fine line, right? Okay, so taking a look at our next question here. Everybody talks about the unique value proposition. And as I said, what are you known for? What's the actual brand? So Sonali, I'm going to give this back to you in terms of what do you feel differentiates you and Uwe from the others?
Well, I'm going to speak for myself here just for a quick second. So I wasn't born here. I came to United States when I was 16 and a half. I was actually a child bride. Didn't speak English. I had to learn how to speak English in this country. Like I said, I was 16 and a half when I left my country. So just going back to our last question, Mark, being consistent. I mean, I watched TV shows after TV shows after TV shows just to learn English. So, anything you do, you have to be consistent in life. So yeah, I'm from India. I speak 5 languages. Uwe, Mass is German. He speaks 5 languages. And I think what we are blessed with this international, cultural connection with our clients, especially with being in this greater Bay Area. We understand our clients' cultural needs. And I think that really sets us apart. I mean, when we go far, we are a powerhouse team. When we go sit across, on the table for listing presentation, we understand our clients, we understand our audience, and that really sets us apart. And we are different. And I feel different is terrific. I love who we are.
Different is amazing. So Holly, how about you? What do you feel really differentiates you from your competition?
So I think I tell people straight out, I have a lot of opinions. I'm very opinionated when it comes to housing, and I will be the first to say, you should not buy this house. I think there's a lot of people that appreciate that. That's a big thing in this industry, because I feel like a lot of people still look at us as used car salesmen, and finding the perfect fit for a house. I recently worked with somebody for 3 years to find the perfect fit for a house, because it just never, and he's now referred me 4 clients off of that one deal. So I think that's a big thing that differentiates me. I also, too, because I've been in the industry for so long, and Houston is a very small town in a big city, and knowing other agents and knowing the personalities of other agents, and knowing, like Mark said, and I think Melissa talked about this too, to me, it's almost just as important to have those relationships with your clients as it is with the other agents. And that's a big thing. Other companies, within our company, everywhere, because that's how we get the job done, is if they know we're going to take the deal to the closing table and that we mean business. If we are in a multiple offer situation, I do find that we tend to win those a lot.
I love that. And very quickly, I just want to say, all of my clients know that I obsess on using real estate advisor instead of real estate agent, just because the negative stereotype of the real estate agent versus you advise, you educate, you connect. And yes, when I was selling, I was saying no more than I was saying yes. That's not going to be a good home for you. That doesn't sound like a good idea. And clients always appreciate the honesty and transparency. Melissa, I'm going to kick it over to you. What is your unique value proposition, and what differentiates you from your competition?
I try to be just really in it with my clients. I really value my relationships and come across with empathy, and buying and selling is stressful. We all know this. And so I think when you're working with me, you're really getting someone that genuinely cares. And I also try to make it fun and use humor. And, even in my marketing, I try to come across, fun and bring personality to it. I'm really big on events and try to give people experiences they wouldn't normally give themselves. I just had a huge client appreciation event. We had acrobats, we had a silent disco, we, had all sorts of fun things happening with magicians, and just really try to give people memorable experiences across the board so they think of me.
I love that. Nicole?
What makes me different is my background in the performing arts. So I come from an artistic family, lots of creativity. So that's something that has helped me in building my brand, building my business, and with my marketing when it comes to marketing unicorn properties, which I seem to get a lot. So I'm able to take my artistic eye and really put that into marketing the homes, you know, with the visual. I'm a very visual person coming from the performing arts, and I feel that's really given me and my sellers a competitive advantage when I list their homes.
All right. So Nicole, I want to stay with you here, and let's talk about something that is very, very, very important. What's the most effective form of marketing for you? And then how much of your business comes from that? And I'd love for you to take a little bit of extra time here to just really dig in.
Yeah. So you need to be everywhere. And so that's print marketing, that's digital marketing. There's a lot of, controversy like, oh, we should stop doing print marketing. No, you should do print marketing, but it has to be the right print marketing, and it has to be consistent. So, I say print marketing, digital marketing, and often. It also depends on your farms. It depends on the demographics within those farms. So I do a lot more print marketing in the areas, where there's a certain demographic who may be, they've been in their house for 30 years and they're ready to move on. But then at the same time, I'm also known for my video marketing, which appeals more towards the millennial crowd. And, I actually got my very first listing 7 years ago from a Facebook ad. So, even if you're new and you're just starting out, take the time that you have to really invest in your marketing plan, because when you get big and when you get really busy, you're not going to have as much time to invest in that. So back to your question, digital, print, both, and often.
I know that I'm going to get this question, so I'm going to throw it to you again and just say, if there was one specific thing that you could do in terms of marketing, or one specific avenue, what would it be?
Video, 100%.
Video.
I think showing buyers and sellers that you have the ability to convey a message through video, I think that speaks volumes, because they already feel like they know you, like you, and trust you before you show up for the listing appointment.
I love that. Melissa.
So I agree with what Nicole said. You do need to be everywhere. I think my two most effective sources of business this year have been video and social media and open houses and events. I'm really good in person, and the more I can get out in front of people, the better I do. And I really got out of my own way and just went head first into video this year. I can absolutely quantify at least 3 or 4 pieces of business that came from video, or people who I haven't talked to in years, but followed me and just, saw me as a resource and really convey your knowledge and expertise. And it's been really effective. So I think the one thing, I agree with Nicole, I think video is where it's at.
Melissa, I want to stay with you for a moment. Video is terrifying, I want to say, for most people, including myself, right? Recording yourself can be absolutely terrifying. What advice do you have in terms of overcoming that fear, or how have you, because you're fantastic on video and everybody rave reviews. So what have you done?
So it is, when I first started, it is scary, the balmy hands and, the anxiety, butterflies in your stomach, and how do I look? And, really when you make it about the person, like you're there to help someone. And when you make it about them, all that goes away. So when I go to do a shoot and I do, batch my content, I just really, how can I bring value? What message can I share that's going to help someone? And I think when you make it about other people, that all goes away.
Fantastic. All right, Holly, what about you? What's the most effective form of marketing, and then how much business overall comes from marketing?
So I'm one of those that hates video. I'm trying to get over my fear of it. I'm trying to get over I like when we do pictures, I don't even look at them. I will not look at them. My assistant, Kristen, who I could not live without, looks at them and picks them all. I will not look at them. I'm a control freak also, Nicole. So I can't take that, but I'm trying to get over that. So I know there's a lot of people out there that probably feel like me. I think Mark is one of them also. And it is, but we all know that we have to do video these days. Like it is imperative to do business in this industry. I am like Melissa in that I am too very good in person. So I love doing open houses. I love talking to people. I love visiting with people. I think that is a very effective marketing. I do print marketing. We do try to choose digital marketing that will stick out there for a long time. But we still do a lot of print marketing, mailers, and handouts at open houses, things like that. I feel like those go a long way also. But my main business is referral. I mean, it's, so I try to take care of my past clients because I get so much business from them. So I feel like us marketing to past clients is something that is very hard to do to keep up with, but it's a very important piece of our marketing.
Okay, Sonali.
Holly, I agree with you 100%. So honestly, referral is, the most effective form for us as well. But then Nicole, I do agree with you. You have to be everywhere, so you have to do the print, you have to do the digital. Where we are, I feel like we receive our print comments when we send out our postcards, or, if you're in a local newspaper. We get a lot of, feedback from our clients like, hey, I just got your postcard, which is great because you spend so much money to create that and send it out. But again, you have to be everywhere. Where the world is going, it's all digital, and you have to have that presence, that visibility also, with your competition, right? With your competitors, you have to be everywhere. But for us, keeping our past clients happy is very important to us, and we do that. When we get a new listing, or if we just sell something, we have in our database where we send all our email blast out and, coming soon. So really keeping our past clients happy with events and just, still stay in front of them. And Holly, you're right. It's not easy to do as you're so busy with your day-to-day business. But that is very important to do. But I would say referrals is big for us.
So, I've had clients ask digital or print, and, what's going to get me the most business? What should I be focused on? I always like to liken it to the fact that these are reinforcement pieces. Nothing replaces you in person. So getting in front of clients or potential clients, having lunch, having dinner, being at an open house, talking about real estate, think of the power of that versus somebody's going to get a mailer where it's going to be unknown. However, if you're doing events in a neighborhood, if you are, taking listings, so now there's signs and you have relationships. Now there's mailers. Then there's also a really terrific website or social media. It's all the credibility and reinforcement that somebody needs to say, I want you to represent me. But by itself, having just a terrific video that somebody watches or receives a postcard, that's not going to have the same impact, right? Okay, so, with that being said, if you had to choose one between print or digital, just give us the answer. Sonali, print or digital?
I come from print era, so, since I was 19, so print, I do believe in print.
Okay, Holly?
I'm print era too.
Okay, Melissa?
I love print, but I gotta say digital.
All right, Nicole?
This one's really hard for me because I get a lot of listings from print, but I love digital. So I'm going to go with digital.
Okay. I want to go back to the control freak comment and the perfectionism, because I know everybody on this call can relate. All of us. If you are in real estate and you're a hitter and you're success, you have a problem with and that's what makes you so good. But it can also work against you. So, Nicole, I'm going to go back to you. How do you combat that perfectionism?
So the perfectionism I don't feel like it slows me down. I feel like it speeds me up and it fuels me to do more, because I know if I'm working on a piece and I don't get it out there, I know that the next agent's going to get it out before me. So I'm like, okay, I've got to get it out. I've also kind of mastered it a bit in that I've, created templates and systems that are pretty much foolproof. So I can just, plug my new listing info in there, plug the info in, and I feel confident sending it out.
Melissa.
I have a new philosophy I adopted this year that done is better than perfect. And so just get it out. You could tweak things forever, but you just need to get it done and move on. And so, of course, want to make sure it's accurate and looks great and represents the brand, but just get it done.
Okay. Holly?
So I don't like calling her my assistant. Her name is Kristen. And that's how I kind of combat my perfectionism, but we just kind of feed off of each other and trust her. I fully trust her with everything. So if I'm feeling like, oh, I can't finish this because it's not perfect, and did I say this? Was it right? Was it wrong? And we kind of bounce things off of each other. And that is the best thing I have in this business.
I love that. Sonali.
So having a business partner helps a lot because we both are control freaks, just our personalities. I try for perfection and so does he. We do feel sometimes that slows us down, but we are very efficient, I want to say. So I can say we can be perfect, and we at least try to be. And I don't think try to be, perfect slows us down, because it's two brain versus one brain. It's a teamwork, and it works really well for us. Whatever I lack, he kind of fulfills, and vice versa. So it works out great for our business.
Okay. Sonali, what secrets are you willing to share about how you make your brand stand out?
I'm going to go back to, again, the team that speaks your language, having this cultural blessings, I would say, helps a lot, because our audience here, it's so different than Bay Area. And knowing them, and, just even in our neighborhoods, it's amazing how you connect with who you are. And you're recognized, we exceed expectations all the time. So again, I'm just going to go back to, being different. It's amazing. We are different, and culturally really blessed to serve our clients' needs.
Okay. Holly, what secrets are you willing to share about how you make your brand stand out?
I'm an open book. I'll share anything, but I think the main thing that that makes my brand stand out is that personal service. It's kind of like they said, you have to be everywhere. And I do feel like we do a very good job of that. I feel like being everywhere and all the places at one time is what really helps us stand out, for sure. And my pretty logo. I love my logo.
It's all about the logo. Melissa, what secrets are you willing to share?
People won't remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And how you treat everyone is hugely important. That person that gave you the referral, what are you doing with that person so they continue to give you referrals, both at the time they give you the referral, when you closed, everyone you meet at an open house, every conversation you have, every agent that you are working with, and just really making people feel special and having that exude in your marketing, I think is the key to success.
Nicole?
Excellent.
I'll share any secret you want to know, literally. No, seriously, if anyone on this call has questions and they don't want to put it in the chat and they want to reach out to me privately, email me, Instagram me, I'm happy to answer any questions. I know what it's like to be a new agent starting out, so I'm happy to help new agents as well. But the real secret is there is no secret. It's hard work, it's determination, and ultimately it's being unapologetically you. That's it. You know, your personality, you're gonna attract your tribe, and those are the clients that you want to work with. So just be you.
Love
Well
that.
said.
Mhm.
Nicole, I'm going to kick it with you. And by the way, we do have some really good questions that have come in. We're going to get to in just a minute, but I want to go around and just ask, for those who aspire to reach your level of success, what advice do you have for them?
Me?
Ooh.
You know, something I told myself a long time ago, and this was even before I was in real estate, is stop caring what other people think, and just go for it. That's it. It's that simple, and it's that hard.
Well said. All right, Melissa.
You set a plan and execute your plan, and use your downtime wisely. And we always have ebbs and flows in this business. When things are slow, you focus on your marketing, and what you're doing to bring more business in.
Love that. Holly?
I'm going to say hard work and persistence. Don't give up. You definitely go through, rough patches. I will never forget one time I got a bad review like early on, and it like devastated me. And you've got to know, with as many people you're dealing with, you cannot please everyone. Like you can't, there's always going to be someone you cannot please. And I'm with Melissa too. Be kind to everyone, because you never know what's going to happen with them. They could refer you the best client in the world, and you have to, and just to be a good person, be honest, and be persistent.
I love that. Sonali?
Be authentic, build genuine relationships. Real estate is more than a transaction. You really need to connect with people. You have to love what you do. Otherwise, you're not going to be good in it. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. It's not an easy business. Let's face it, we are in sales, right? You have to be out there. You have to do A to Z. But again, just be authentic, be genuine, build those solid relationships, connect with your clients, and be consistent, and never compromise your integrity.
I love that. All right, so we've got a really good number of questions here, so I'm going to start calling some of these out. First off, Holly, what is your favorite loot?
Okay, let me get it and I'll show it to you.
And for everybody on the call, loot can also be swag.
Oh, that's what this is. This is like my favorite thing, and all my clients love it. And we just ordered them in white also. So it's a coffee cup or a wine holder, whatever your drink is, you can put in here, and it fits right. Not that I'm promoting driving while drinking, but it also fits in your car perfectly.
Okay, so
It's a very pretty logo.
I was going to say
Thank you.
unbelievable logo. So Holly, who do you give that to?
I give it to any listing appointment I go on. I give them to clients at closings. I give them, I had one client that requested like 4 more of them because her whole family loves them. I give them out. So my boys all play sports at a school that we're a big alumni of, high school. And I hand these out. I had them done in red, which is the color of the school. And I handed them out. I hand them out at football games, at tailgates, anything.
Do you mind sharing, and it's okay if not, where you get something like that made and how much something?
That's a Kristen question, but I can definitely share it with you all. And so I'll get back to you on that.
Who's curious, email Holly for the deets on her amazing mugs and wine cups. Okay. Nicole, I'm going to go to you on this because I know this has happened as well. And I actually just recently had my entire Instagram page cloned, right? But here's a question. What do you do when other agents begin to imitate your marketing? Do you change it up? to keep standing out, or do you stick with consistency?
Okay, you can't steal my ideas faster than I can come up with new ones. So, you know, yeah, I change it up. I mean, if someone's trying to imitate me, or I don't know, design a piece that looks like mine, I would just change it up. Yeah.
Anybody else want to speak to that?
I agree with Nicole. I would do exactly the same thing.
Okay. So just keep changing it up, keep up with new ideas. Okay, so we have a question here. If you farm, what do you do and how often do you do it? Melissa, I'm going to send that your way.
I have started farming this year and doing postcards monthly and being consistent. I on one side of my postcard, my Melissa's top five reasons to use concierge, top 5 reasons to work with me, top 5 reasons why it's a good time to sell. And then just doing as many open houses and meeting people as possible. And my team and I are going to work on throwing our first farm event this fall. We're going to do like a pizza in the park.
I love that. Holly.
So yes, I do. I farm my neighborhood, which is a huge source of my business, because people, it's a very moving neighborhood. People are constantly moving in and out of there for schools and other things. So I do a popsicle, like in the summer. We do it. We have 3 open houses. We do the popsicle truck at one of the open houses. We have coloring books that we hand out. We have, you know, all sorts of loot again, and that we hand out. And I also do mailers. We do mailers anytime we make a sale in there, and we try to get one out at least once, if not twice a month.
I love that. So this is a really important question for everybody. And I know every business is going to be different. Excuse me. Regarding personal service and white glove treatment, how do you set boundaries, expectations, or delegate to teammates so you can have a life outside of real estate, i.e. take days off, actually be on vacation, etc.? Sonali, I'm going to pass that to you first.
Being with a partner helped me a lot, because I'll tell you, I was a crazy real estate agent. I dreamt, I breathed, I constantly real estate, right? This is when I was solo. It really helped having a business partner, because you know what? We can take time off. You know, when he's on, I can be off, and vice versa. So yeah, I just think, you know, partnership is great if it works out. And so far we are good. 8 years into it. Yeah, so to me, that's big.
Okay, Nicole.
This is a good question. It's actually a question that I would ask as well, and I could use some help with. So, you know, everyone out there, I'm looking for a new assistant. So if you'd like to apply, please email me.
Fair enough. Melissa.
I probably need to set more boundaries than I do. I'm pretty available to a fault, but I also feel like I do make time for my family. I have been better about kind of checking out on vacations and delegating to my team when needed, and leaning on other agent colleagues for support, which I have a great network, and of course, always return the favor. So I think you need to do what you need to do to get the job done, but you know, this business doesn't sleep.
Holly.
So I think that that's kind of changing for all of us, because over the past 3 years, it has just been there. You couldn't do anything. And you were just trying your best to get through the day and get some sleep at night. But since, you know, things have slowed and we're not like having to sit on top of our phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I think that Kristen and I have done a really good job of that, you know, taking up the slack so I can get some time off. I've tried to put some like, I'm not gonna do calls before 8:30 in the morning. And I'm kind of trying to set that boundary with my clients too. Like, I'm not gonna call before 8:30 or 9, and I'm not gonna take calls before 8:30 or 9. I like to, I'm a night owl, so the night doesn't bother me, but during dinner time, I definitely put my phone down and try my hardest. So I think we're all trying to figure that out now, again, now that things aren't, flying off the shelves, and we have to be on top of the market and what's coming on and what's going off. I feel like maybe everybody's trying to figure that out again.
I love that. And I'm just going to say, we teach what we allow.
Mhm.
Right. And so we set the tone. So when you're working with a client, when you meet a client, tell them, talk with them how they best communicate, but at the same time, let them know your working hours, let them know response time, and start having that conversation up front. Because otherwise, if you start taking calls at 11 o'clock at night, you're going to start getting more calls at 11 o'clock at night. Right. We teach what we allow. Nicole, for reviews, what forums do you recommend?
For reviews?
For reviews or testimonials?
I like Google. I used to like Zillow before, Zillow got kind of crazy over the last few years. But I think, having a Google business page is really important, and, having all of your reviews in one place. I've dabbled in Yelp, but I feel like Yelp has kind of a negative connotation as well. So I just stick with Google.
Okay. Melissa?
Yeah, I agree. I think Google is the most important place you should be getting reviews, and it also gives you Google juice on the, SEO. When people look you up, your Google business page pops up, they can see how many reviews you have, and you definitely get a lot of traction that way.
Sonali?
We have all our reviews right now in Zillow, but we are definitely building our Google page, and that's the overhaul we are in process of doing right now.
Holly?
We too are getting on the Google bandwagon as of now, but we also I'll give a shout out to the Compass transaction coordinators. They reach out we use them on every transaction, and they reach out and ask for clients to send back reviews, and we tend to post those a lot on our Instagram account.
Okay. All right. Last question here. So we've got multiple basically asking the same thing. So when you're talking about digital marketing, are you mainly talking about, videos? And are you mainly talking about social media, Instagram, Facebook, or is there anything else you can think of? Nicole, I'm going to start with you.
YouTube would be another form of digital marketing. So you can advertise on YouTube. You can obviously, you can post videos on YouTube, but you can also run ads on videos through YouTube, and they don't even have to be public videos. You can set them as private. As far as my online marketing goes, I actually do a lot of Facebook ads, and I do Facebook ads, back to the farm. We were talking about farming. I have ads that strategically go to my farms. And you might ask, well, how did you get their email addresses and their contact info? Your title rep can help you out with that.
Okay. Melissa?
Yeah, I'm just starting to kind of digitally farm my farm, and with YouTube, you can geo-target and drop a pin so people in the area will see your videos. And I have dabbled in digital ads, but I think I'm going all in on YouTube, where the perception is they see you everywhere.
Okay. Holly?
So it's dependent on what price range our listing is in, because there are like, we have Paper City here that you can do digital marketing on. We've got the Houston Chronicle you can do digital marketing on. It all just kind of depends what the price point is and who you're trying to reach. But we do a lot of Facebook marketing also. We do a lot of that targeting. And I find that it is effective, because I have people telling me that it's popping up on their feeds, which is what you want to hear.
Excellent. Sonali, take us home.
Sure. So we do Insta and Facebook. We do a lot of posts with new home new listings on Facebook. We also do Facebook ads. So that's pretty much what we do, Insta and Facebook. I have done videos on YouTube. You do get recognition with that, but I think Facebook and Insta is what works for us.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much to the four of you for collaborating without ego, being here with everybody to share your expertise. For everybody on the call, again, we're going to go ahead and send out their contact information to all of you. If you have any questions, please reach out to them directly. This was recorded, so we are going to go ahead and send this out as well. And with that, hope you all have an incredible week.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.